Russell, don't get it messed up. Russ is one of the best players our league has ever seen, and there's still a ton left in that tank. I don't know why people tend to try to write him off. I'm gonna approach him like I do every player I've ever encountered. We're gonna talk about our running habits with the ball, without the ball, and again, the team, the rhythm of the team, and trying to establish a rhythm with LeBron, Russ, AD, and again, share the load defensively and offensively. Defensively is where you're going to see us make our biggest leaps and bounds. We have to commit to the defensive side of the ball, or we don't have a chance to do anything. The offense won't even matter if we don't get stops. Maintenance. And he's done a phenomenal job his entire career taking care of his body and spending the resources and provide himself with the right people around him to make sure he's able to sustain the type of level you see him play at even to this day. So just being in, and not just Bron, but AD, Russ, our entire group, like we're really, really player health conscious. Like we'll get with the performance team, build out a plan for everybody. And again, the plan is to get stronger as the season gets longer. So that'll be my number one goal, is to try to lessen some of the wear and tear on LeBron, because, you know, I feel like he's shown that that level he's playing at is not going anywhere anytime soon. So I just want to try to help and assist him with being able to sustain that level. Timing is everything. Like I said, I put my faith in God. He's the master of all plans, and I just want to take this time to thank all of those teams that passed on me so I can end up right back where I need to be, with Rob and the Bucks family. So it's all good. I'm good, trust me. But, you know, you live, you learn, and you seek out an opportunity. If you don't get it, you just keep getting better, keep trying to add more things to your repertoire. I think it's more system-based, and yes, we were able to build a proven commodity in the way we played offense, the way we defended during Bud and my time together. But in terms of AD, Giannis, the comparisons, they're slightly different players, but they're both dynamic in the sense that they're multifaceted to be at the size that they're at. And a lot of the ground gets made up in just the breakdowns, the defensive breakdowns and the offensive breakdowns. Those guys you can throw it to them and they can go get you a bucket. But how easy will that bucket be? Like, we have to get the ball going side to side. We have a term, play with the pass, like share the ball, make it easy on yourself. Instead of going 1-on-4, 1-on-5, you go play with your teammate. And now it's a 3-on-2 situation or a 2-on-1 situation because you just moved the ball. You didn't sit, hold it, dribble 18 times. Like, it has to be a rhythm, ball and body movement. But Giannis is unique because we had different people that took the lead on him in his individual workouts, but the things we would do in terms of our offensive breakdowns and our defensive breakdowns would actually give him more. So when it came time for him to play one-on-one, it was easy. You know what I mean? You had to account for other people. So now there's different driving lanes, or there's more space. And again, it goes back to the type of rosters we were able to build and put the type of players around him that's we're going to do here. When Rob and I collaborate, we're going to dive in and put the best roster out there that we possibly can to support our big three. Yeah, I would say yes. Russ and I have had some really, really great one-on-one convos, man. And the biggest word I think came out of those discussions were sacrifice. That was the biggest word. It was sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice whatever we got to do. And it's not just Russ. There's going to be sacrifices that LeBron has to make, that AD has to make, on down the line through the rest of our roster. Again, we have to start on the defensive end. And in terms of what his role is going to be, I'm going to expect him to be the same tenacious, high-energy player that he's been on his entire career. A lot of it now may happen without the ball in his hand. Most of it now may happen on the defensive end. But again, we have to sacrifice. There's no achieving anything without all parties, sharing the load, sacrificing, and depending on one another. In Saginaw, Michigan, I was shot in the face by accident April 5th, 1988. You go through something like that, it's going to do one or two things. It's going to make you fearful or fearless. It made me fearless. I don't feel no pressure. It's basketball. You want to talk about some of our military representatives across the seas fight for our democracy. That's pressure. This here, is a challenge. And it's something that can be navigated. We have a great partnership, me and Rob, that's going to grow and continue to build. We have great ownership group. We have great people around our building, great people involved in our personnel decisions. I look forward to it. Like I wanted to talk. I talked to LeBron my first day in the gym, and I wanted to start training camp the next day. I got so excited, and just to hear his excitement over the phone is like, man, and to see Russ and talk to AD and talk to Russ, and it just, these guys, you know, they're not great by mistake, and they want to be able to do something, and I know all of them feel this way. They want to be able to do something collectively that's great, put another banner in this building, and it starts right now. So that's just a challenge. That's not pressure. I've seen real pressure in life. So to me, this is fun. This is something that's going to be joyful, something we're going to look back on, remember these days, and when we're popping bottles of champagne somewhere, celebrating another banner going up. I mean, it's been phenomenal, and just, you know, I came in the league as a player in 1996. Played 8 years, won a championship, played overseas, worked in what was then known as the D-League at the time for 4 years, and then now going into my 12th year as an NBA coach, 11 as an assistant, now a head coach. And in our time passing, you know, my parents raised me to be able to engage people in a respectful, loving manner. And you show love and respect to get love and respect. So when I see these guys, and I'm actually one of the ones that actually walked in their shoes, I don't mind taking 5, 10, 20 seconds, a couple of minutes to stop, say hello, see how he's doing, see how his family's doing, ask about his people, his loved ones, if there's any advice he needs to get better or whatever. And then the bubble. When we were in the bubble, one of the positive things that came out of the bubble was the fact that we were all in the same space. So I could see Rob riding a bike every other day, or see him having breakfast or something. See LeBron over there, you know, fishing and riding a bike as well. Or we over there, you know, having cigars or something. Like, we got to engage one another and see the human side of one another. So a lot of those tweets and the messages I've gotten from different players I've coached, players who are no longer in the league, some are still in the league, I attribute that to just being common and just being a good source of energy. And it was humbling. Like, it's a little overwhelming at times. Like, man, just to see all the love. I mean, it was just, I just thank God for it. 2013, and joined Coach Bud, the Lakers have been my scout. They've been my scout, the team, one of the teams, many teams that I would prepare our team for. And, you know, you've had some really qualified, high-level coaches in that seat. But the thing is, it's whether you're a first-timer or what they call a retread or whatever, it's not, you've had multiple jobs. The key is to have a plan, a consistent plan that you tap into daily, and to have a standard that's set on both sides of the ball. You know, defensively, can we contain? Can we contest? Can we control the rebound? Offensively, can we run with pace and our running habits? Can we run with space and have a force and a physicality to the way we play? You know, all predicated on ball and body movement. And you have to preach those principles until you're blue in the face. And it's going to be times where, you know, we're going to have philosophical disagreements. And, you know, just we may have to get out on the floor and walk through some stuff over and over and over again. But those basic tenets, like, you're not going to have success without it. But you have to be in a position to, again, strive to execute that plan daily. You set forth a plan, you get your staff together, you get a great roster full of players, not just the big three, but a lot of serviceable players that can help in different areas. And you all establish a plan of action, and we execute that plan daily. And God rest his soul, man. We spent a lot of time together on the practice floor, individual workouts, watching film, watching clips. And if I can go back and forth with him and have him disagree with me and then double back and tell me I was right, and we all know how stubborn he was, man. It's just, it just gave me a wealth of confidence, man, in myself as a coach. And, you know, just seeing him and him sharing with me the different ways he saw the game, but just, and even with Russ, LeBron, AD, all these guys, Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, all these guys I've been, Al Horford, Paul Millsap, these guys I've been able to coach and be around and learn from them. It's a two-way street. It's not just this coach that thinks he knows it all and he's just barking orders. No, you have to be able to, again, to collaborate, communicate, and understand each other. And not your way or my way, but what's the best way to go forward? What's the best plan for all of us? So Kobe was right, at the forefront of that in my own development as a coach. Just the workouts we would do on the court, the type of film we would watch, dinners we've had just offline, just getting away from it all. Like, he's a big part of why I was able to grow the way I did as a coach. Well, me personally, and I shared this with Rob and Kurt and everybody that was on the basketball committee during the interview process, is like, I like coaches that like to roll up their sleeves, are going to be able to get out there. Like where I come from the last 9 years, we did everything. We did player development, we did scouting, I had to step in as the head coach on a few occasions, but it was a team. It wasn't no coordinators on either side of the ball. We all pitched in on all aspects of our team basketball, offensively and defensively. So I'm looking to build that similar type of staff. And in regards to Rasheed, that's an active situation. That's fluid. We're still working through that. That's not true at all, but he's definitely a candidate that we'll take a look at, but we're working through that. Like we have a list of names and some people that's currently under contract, and we're working with some really talented young coaches, and we're working through that to try to put together the best staff possible. Like, he's the key. We've all seen what can happen when he's healthy, when he's playing at a high level. He's in a good rhythm. We saw it in the bubble. His skill set, his size, his versatility, his defensive acumen, like his relentlessness, his ability to give multiple efforts defensively is key. It's going to be the foundation of the type of standard we set within a quote-unquote Darvin Ham era. Like, it's going to be built on that defense, and he's going to be the main piece, the centerpiece of it. LeBron is always going to be great. LeBron is going to be LeBron. Russ is going to be Russ. But we need consistency out of Anthony Davis. We need him to be healthy. We need him to be in a good mental space, and we need him to be consistent as possible, back to playing that championship-type basketball at that level. And we're going to do everything in our power to support him and give him whatever he needs and keep him moving forward, and again, getting stronger as the season gets long.